Control
No,
F.
I didn't. I didn't note down a surname.
Yeah, neither did I. Just his first name.
It's old Oren. He didn't provide one.
Okay. First name Old, second name Orn. Got it.
Middle name Man. Old Man Orn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think we should give him the proper send off, and probably this old man in here as well.
It's his father. I'm sure they'd appreciate being together.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna bury them outside in the swamp?
So wasn't the wasn't like the islands protected as well?
Yeah, you would assume so. There was a beacon outside of the door, one of the lampposts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I mean, obviously, we did say that the note something got in, and obviously something got in, but time is definitely going to take its toll on the body anyway, in here or outside, and yeah.
Yeah, let's do it outside. So, do we sleep and get ready to leave in the morning?
Is there? I want to search real quick, like the statue, just to see if there might be anything there. Oh, look. Mundane.
You kind of start inspecting the statue a little bit closer, and again, you see a finely crafted stone statue of a female dragonborn. It seems to have been done with great care and intention. And you would you can derive from its form that the sculptor imbued a lot of feeling and intention with the sculpture, but you don't find any other information about it. No secret switches or hello.
Go ahead. Finish. Oh wait. I'm sorry.
Any secret switches or anything like that? Sorry, Brett. Go ahead.
You had mentioned something last session about a stone axe.
Axe.
Yeah.
That's in this section.
Yes.
This is kind of an odd question. Can Ukala tell if it was crafted out of stone or if it was like something that was petrified?
I remember him saying, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I remember him saying that it was almost made to look like it was made out of stone.
Roll an investigation check or an arcana check if you so desire.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you get down and start looking at this axe, specifically the haft, wood is what you know best. And as you start looking at the haft of the axe, the grain, the detail, is too great to have been carved out of stone, and you're able to determine that this most likely had originally been a different material. This was originally wood and had been petrified.
Ruh-roh.
What horrible thing have you realized to add to our awful day?
I just, I have a suspicion that this stone axe wasn't always stone, if you know what I mean. Are there...
Not especially, no.
I suspect there may be creatures and or magic that can turn things into stone.
Oh. Well, that's fantastic, and something I wasn't really aware we would be running into.
Probably...
Is there a cure?
I don't know. I imagine this would be tied to the cavern that was mentioned in the notes.
Guess it's better to be prepared.
But anyways, are
Where
we
we're going,
staying?
isn't it? We're going to the cave.
I think so. Shall we rest here first before we move on, or is there anywhere else anyone wants to go? Anything else?
Definitely think we should definitely rest before we go any further. A couple of us are not feeling as well as we should be, but
No.
Small hiss, might you be able to see if there's anything arcane here? Might you be able to detect anything out of the normal?
Let me see here. I'm sorry, say that again.
I was gonna see if Hiss could see if there's any arcane objects about. So I think I'm gonna go watch Dune and Eternals the same day.
Wow.
I'm bacheloring it this weekend.
Yeah.
Denise flew out to Washington to see the grandbaby.
Oh.
I gotta stay home to take care of the dogs.
Here,
Okay.
you guys will be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Right back.
Okay. So I'm on doggy and kitty patrol and fish fry duty and whatever else. She comes in on Monday at like 9 o'clock, and I don't want to. I mean, I've been enjoying the time in the mornings and the evenings I can go hunting without having. Well, can you do this before you go? so I'm okay with it. I got to do dishes today though. That's for sure. I need to do dishes.
Have you just been letting it pile up?
No. I had my brother-in-law over for breakfast yesterday morning. After we hunted yesterday morning, and so he came over. I made steak and eggs and whatnot.
For breakfast?
It's steak and eggs.
Steak?
Yeah, steak and eggs. Eggs makes it breakfast.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
lower
does.
my pitch slightly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's breakfast.
The only thing missing there is a side of ammunition.
Oh my god.
That's American. That's American breakfast. No.
I thought American breakfast was just pancakes smothered in syrup.
No. American breakfast is lots of bacon and a firearm.
I see.
There's a whole joke there, like a meme. Oh, let's see
No,
if
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. Okay. What kills me that I've seen on Facebook or whatever, is, like it's a plate of breakfast food, and like someone's like what's missing or what should be taken off the plate or off the table. And what kills me is that there are some people that will have beans for breakfast, like as a side thing.
Yeah,
I think Brits
that.
do that, right?
No, shh. No, that's insane. What kind of madman would put?
Beans and eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Quick morning beans. I mean, there's recipes for it. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I am being heavily sarcastic, Kurt. It's a staple of an English breakfast.
Beans.
Beans.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sasha was right. That's why I shushed.
I wasn't being sarcastic. I thought it was like a Western, like America thing.
Nope.
I did not know beans were
English breakfast staples.
Really?
Sausage, bacon, eggs, toast, beans. And then you have some variation on like hash browns, mushrooms, black pudding,
Now-
grilled tomatoes.
But okay, so the beans, like how are they? Are they baked beans? Are they?
Baked beans.
So when I say baked beans, like American baked beans are like barbecue baked beans.
Ours are tomato. Like, you know do you guys have like spaghettios?
Yeah, we have
That's what they called
SpaghettiOs.
there?
They're terrible.
Yeah, that's what they are there. It's that kind of tomato.
Oh, it's like
barely
it's like-
tomato.
it's like ketchup. Like
It
a
doesn't
weak
taste-
ketchup sauce.
It's kind of in between the two, I would say.
ketchup and the spaghetti or something. So weird.
But just
Okay.
replace it with beans.
Now, have you ever had grits for breakfast or grits period?
No.
That's
You're not missing anything.
Oh, come now. Come now.
They're not that good. They don't taste like anything unless you just heap it in stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It is it's not even like a vanilla flavor. It's just a
It's a porridge.
yeah. So they're
Yeah,
made
kinda.
from piece of part of the corn.
So it's like congee in that it just tastes like nothing. And you have to add shit to it.
Most
make it
people in the South it's a southern, like a southeast American thing. They add just a pinch of salt to it.
Okay.
My dad moved to the South when I was a young kid, so I would go visit, and grits were on the table for breakfast every morning. It was just Diane, my stepmom, made grits and eggs and bacon and everything else. I couldn't tolerate them without butter and sugar, and I was a terrible Yankee for it.
Okay, so sorry, I'm back.
Okay, we've been talking about breakfast food. It happens a lot.
I gathered.
Kernels from dent corn.
So Hiss sits down and proceeds to cast as a ritual, detect magic. And she lets you know that she senses magic coming from two different places. Well, one, the tower itself, as was originally detected, gives off a powerful aura of illusion and conjuration magic. But the axe that Yukala is next to gives off an aura of transformation. Sorry, what am I thinking of?
Transmutation.
Transmutation, thank you. transmutation magic. And there is a small aura of I think it would be maybe abjuration, or she can't really tell at this point, but coming from the floor below.
Below the floor, or in the floor?
Like
The
15
level
to
down.
20 feet below her.
Okay.
How long does detect magic last for? Or is it just
Um,
instantaneous?
I thought it was.
It's 6 sec. Up to 10 minutes. Concentration.
Okay. I guess we'll go see
Yeah, so
what
we
that thing is.
could use her like a metal detector.
Just hold her.
And she's little, right? Like, right? Just
Yeah.
like sweep the area, pick her up from her belt, and
Have her
strap her
beep.
neck. Yep.
Say, hey, here's beep. That's so cute.
As she fireballs Hissik.
Yeah, you deserve it too. As you know, I deserve it for fucking leaving her in the first place. I'm still feel guilty about that. Out of character. Should we go find what the other thing is?
Yeah, I want to go look
Yeah.
on the floor below.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys go downstairs, and you Hiss. You guys get out walking on this boardwalk, and I don't know where Hiss is. Oh, down here.
Being held.
That's right. As you're using her as a cobalt metal detector, she tells you that whatever's emanating this magical aura is in the water.
The water. Oh.
Like located in this area. Or rather, like, yeah.
Guess Hissik will strip down and no. Hissik will go in the water looking for it.
All right.
You can pop the hood. Got the
Oh.
manta ray thing, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're the best
thought you
swimmer
meant-
here.
I thought maybe pop the hood was the slang.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
For take
No.
off your shirt.
No.
It's like, what British slang have we been exposed to now?
Pop the top, eh? What?
No. This was a rational thought. Give me more credit.
So you dive into the water. And I'd say now you have the time to kind of peruse. You don't need to do a check, but you start swimming underneath the water. And the water is warm. You don't see it necessarily being circulated, but it's fresh and warm. And as you keep swimming around, you kind of go up under the dock a little bit. It's not a dock, but it's almost like a pillared walkway. And you swim underneath. And there you find 2 skeletons. Their skulls would indicate they have like a heavier brow, very strong jutting jaw, and as you inspect the teeth, you see the teeth have grown into smaller fang-like tusks. The bones are heavy and thick.
Half orc.
Yeah, you would be able to determine that they are half orc. And there's 2 of them, and laying on the ground in what is kind of like a soft, like white sand beach kind of thing, kind of type ground, are two pearl earrings.
All right, I'll pick them up and return.
Mhm. Also, like around them, you're gonna see. You don't see any armor, but you do see like an axe, a rusted axe, and a rusted longsword lying in the ground beneath the water as well. But they're very rusted.
I'm gonna go back, drop the earrings off at Hiss's feet, and then I'm gonna go back and with some sort of bag or cloak or whatever. I really think with all the remains that are here, we ought to give them all a proper burial. They died in terrible ways, you know, combat or fear or whatnot. We should send their bodies and maybe their souls off better than what they are.
Agreed.
Okay. So as you take these two pearl earrings and put them on the walkway, you dive back under and spend some time hauling the skeletons up. And as you do so, some portions of them, they basically fall apart.
I figure I was
none of
bringing
the
back bones. Yeah.
none of the tendons or connective tissues are still intact, which makes you kind of feel a little grossed out about the water. But yeah, you're able to haul out the bones and do that over the next probably hour or so. It would take you to just gather everything up and
All the metatarsals and metatarpals.
Patellas, all the patellas and the tibias.
Yep.
For sure, yeah. Let me see. Does Hiss have identify? She does.
She definitely has it. She might not have it prepared though.
She doesn't have prepared, but she can use it as a ritual. So she sits down, and as kind of per the usual, you watch as her magical essence kind of almost invisibly imbues the objects and flows in and then out back into her, almost in this like tide of magic going in and out and in and out. And after those 10 minutes, she is able to tell you that the earrings have the ability to allow the two people wearing them to communicate with one another up to 60 feet away telepathically.
Ooh.
Very, very handy.
Especially for those of us that don't have message.
And I think I've seen those before. They don't need attunement, so you could
They don't.
Yeah, you could
What?
change whoever's using them.
Yeah, just switch it out.
That's so cool.
Definitely a great party item.
We've never had these before, have we?
I don't think we have.
No, you had sending stones before.
Yeah.
The big stones. But
Remember those?
not earbud pearls.
No.
They're just earbuds. Or AirPods. Airbud is a lovable hound.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Airbud was a great little golden retriever or whatever. Yeah. Amazing athlete.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
I think we were going to rest and bury the bodies, or bodies and then rest. then I thought we were gonna head off. Somebody said something about like a cave or a cavern.
There was
Yeah.
a cavern mentioned in the notes.
Yeah. Do we have any idea where it's at though?
Hmm.
They said they came to a clearing at some point.
I guess
Then
we
there
could.
was
I
a
mean,
cave.
so we could rest, and then during part of that rest, long rest is 8 hours, but as long as you're not doing heavy work, right? It's still the rest.
No, I think for a long rest you have to like sleep,
Oh, okay.
or for Lucilla's equivalent, 4 hours of
Trance,
meditation.
yeah.
Sitting on my butt,
Yeah, I don't
Doing
think you could
nothing.
do anything.
A long rest period of relaxation is at least 8 hours. It can contain sleep, reading, talking, eating, and other restful activity.
Well,
I
never
think
mind.
a certain amount of those hours should. I can't remember where I've seen that before, but it's argued a certain amount of hours of that should be sleep.
Standing watch is even possible during it, but no more than 2 hours. Maintaining heightened vigilance isn't restful. Makes sense.
I think it makes sense that for 8 hours you might spend 2 hours keeping watch or eating or talking, and then 6 sleeping.
Right.
That's like minimum amount I might expect
No, I agree.
for
completely.
regular function.
I agree. Yeah. Because I could see eating a meal as part of a rest. Yeah. So I think maybe going back up to the library and specifically looking for a map would be worth maybe an hour.
Smart.
And maybe I don't know if there was bookcases or anything else on other floors. I don't want to ransack the place, but I think if we want to go look for this cavern and this oak clearing, and it was spoken about in something, right?
There's the diary pages.
Yeah. So maybe we find.
There's a chance his room would have a
There
map.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess the only other thing we have too is the sketches, right? Which aren't really that helpful, but maybe if we like identify a tree later, or something, that's a stretch. But
I think the 2 pictures that were like living pictures. I remember 2 of them. One downstairs that had like everybody. I'm wondering if now that we know who's here, we know there's 2 half orcs and there's some halflings and whatnot, the 3 dragonborn and whatnot. I'm wondering now if there's.
I don't think there were 3. There weren't 3 dragonborn.
It's just the one.
Right?
Okay, sorry, 2, 1, 2, 3. But it seems like everyone in the picture was part of the party of Orin's, of whatnot, and hisses. Maybe there's something in the picture other than the people that would be helpful.
Like in the background.
In the background. Before we just thought it was like a scene, but maybe there's a clue in it.
Yeah, it can hurt. One thing I want to do that might end up being fruitless is I remember there was described an indigo cape. I would like for while we have control of her as an identify bot, I'd like her to identify the cape. If it's just a cape, I'm keeping it anyway because it sounds dope.
It's purple. Indigo.
And was described as well made.
She does identify it, and it is a beautifully made, mundane piece of fashion.
Keeping it
accessories.
anyway. I like capes. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do.
What about having her identify that axe?
Oh yeah.
No capes.
She can.
Edna doesn't know what she's talking about, okay? Capes are gone.
She goes upstairs and stands next to the axe and like reaches up to put her hands on the axe to identify it, but can't reach it. So she walks over to one of the bookcases and like piles up a bunch of books and climbs up onto the books and is able to put her little hands on the haft of the axe and casts identify. And once done, she lets you know that the axe itself is very heavy, but when used in a rage, the axe can be wielded normally and does an additional damage die of damage, and it's considered a great axe. When the axe is used outside of a rage, it is pretty heavy and unwieldy, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls.
And this is even in its current stone-like form?
Yes.
Or maybe because of its stone-like form. Interesting.
I don't think there's another form of it. I think this is the way it is. I think the
Maybe.
petrified stone or petrified. That's the blade it was made out of.
No, I thought Carla looked at it and got the impression it was originally wood but had been petrified.
Yeah.
Well, so you mean it was carved out of wood that had been petrified, not the axe was made and then petrified?
That's the way I took it.
Or perhaps
Okay.
petrified on purpose or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay.
There was one of the notes said something about realistic, like statues
Realistic
of elves
statues.
and half elves in the cave area, but I
Nothing good comes of realistic statues.
Yeah, but you never know. Maybe. I mean, we have a realistic dragonborn statue in this tower. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
In a cave?
And Janrik was petrified, and he came back, and he was good.
Oh
And I
shit,
would
that
argue
involves
I would argue he was better when he came back than when he left.
that involved an axe as well, didn't it? That was
At least he was a better person.
He had
I
to
don't know
change
about that.
his heart, once made of stone, now flesh.
But he could still grab people.
Oh yeah,
at the crotch
Didn't really-
area, and
didn't really grab him. I just kind of slapped him.
Lads,
Yeah.
is it gay to crotch shock people with a grabbing motion rather than a slap?
If you're cupping, I think it's.
It happens in the locker room all the time.
I don't know what
Boom!
locker, I don't know what locker you're in.
I kind of miss him sometimes. I sometimes miss Oral's character.
Yeah. One of these days, you're gonna meet his illegitimate child named Tantric.
Tantric.
And I'm gonna hate him just as much.
But he's just very not tantric. So chill.
It makes me want to do a reunion portrait. Maybe someday.
Ukala will follow Hissik's lead and start looking around, see if there's any maps or additional journals or anything.
Okay.
I think Ukala definitely needs that axe.
Hmm.
I was gonna say Hiss could have it, but if she's not comfortable wielding it, I'll gladly.
The battle axe.
I know.
You have to
I know.
raise
Is it actually a battle axe? I thought it was smaller.
It's a great
Don't know
axe.
why.
Oh,
Okay.
great axe. Which is better than an okay axe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Standard axe.
Ukala
A
Ukala
Masomenos axe.
kind of looks at the Festerwood claymore, which I think is made out of wood, and then this like giant axe that's made out of stone, and it's just like, I guess one of these days I'll have a normal steel weapon.
That's right.
Hey, you're rust proof at least.
But probably not.
Does the Festerwood sword float?
Oh, good question. Yeah, Ukala will definitely have to test that out. Like he'll take a break from looking for maps and go downstairs and throw it in the water.
It does. It does float.
Float it back and forth like a battleship. Little kid in the tub.
Oh. Imagine like this hulking great big half elf just like
Right. Toot toot.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys walk in and he's just in the water. Looks up. Natalie walks out of the room. Ugh.
Oh, he
Alright.
broke him. Oh, he broke himself.
Oh my.
So, yes, so you guys are able to kind of scour the
Scour the tower.
Scour the tower. Tower scour.
So many puns to
Some tower scouring. You do find in one of the journals. You look a little closer to the journal that was found in Bixie Lamont's room. She was one of the halflings that was stuffed into a footlocker.
Oh shit.
She had
That was awful.
you're able to find in her notebook, which is in the leather satchel. You're able to spend some more time looking through it, and you kind of determine that she was more or less the navigator of the group, and she has some coordinates and drawings that would lead, that say at least that they lead to it's just something labeled as the clearing and then the cave. This being two separate locations.
I think we go looking for the cave.
Yeah.
Did we rest? We rested?
You haven't yet, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. I don't think there's a rest thing on the sheet anyway. My cats are such assholes.
Are there still black tentacles in this hallway?
Oh no,
that
that would
has
have left
passed.
ages ago.
I was
Just
about to
flopping
go read
around.
those.
Just
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm just imagining we're like do, and then turn the corner, like,
It's like playing solitaire by itself.
oh, and then it sees us come around the corner. It's like, oh shit, we're supposed to be working.
Scoops the cards under the door, under a rug.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys each grab a room, perhaps the same rooms you were in before.
Fuck that shit. Now I'm going
don't
in
wanna
a different room.
you don't want to sleep with Orin? His corpse.
Yeah, I'm gonna like
Oren's upstairs
Yeah.
in the body pile.
Yeah, he's pile. I'm gonna stay in like the common room and just
Trance.
I'm gonna be as like awake as I can be. I'm a little freaked out.
Little PTSD.
Hey,
Wouldn't you have it if you got woken up by an old man doing some freaky shit?
Hey, Twinkle Toes, maybe you should take one of these earrings, yeah?
That is an excellent idea.
I don't know who wants to take the other one. I don't.
Someone who doesn't have access to any messaging spells.
I think
Most of us, so.
our sneaky folks.
Yeah, do you want the other one?
Yeah, but I think like a sneaky person and then someone that's with the main party even.
What if Hiss should have the other one?
She can cast message, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she can.
And that's just a
Maybe-
cantrip, so it doesn't cost anything.
Maybe Vanya?
Oh, I thought you had message.
She has sending.
Sending.
Sending
Yeah.
is
Okay,
like a second level spell. It takes something.
that's fair. I think.
I
Yeah.
think Vanya is good to have it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea. Sorry, I thought you already had.
And like I said, they're not. They don't have to stay with those people. We're
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
We'll switch
Plan.
it out
Yeah.
for different
Yeah.
plans, yeah.
Okay.
Does Vanya have pierced ears?
she does now, because I don't want to know where else she's putting it.
Anyone who doesn't have pierced ears takes 1 point of piercing damage.
I'm gonna say that shit hurts.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it's probably, I think Vanya would
then,
have pierced
then you
ears
take
the way
2
she grew
points
up,
of piercing
so.
damage.
Oh yeah, one each.
Hey, Lucilla's already got pierced ears.
And
Okay.
It's on the image. Look at it. They're right there.
and make sure you use antibiotic cream or that thing will get infected, you know? So we're going for realism here.
And if it falls out and you don't put it back in within like
Yep, it closes
a
up.
day, it's gonna
Yeah.
close up. You have to do it again.
You guys got to put all that stuff on your character sheet.
All right. Okay. So
Pierced ears, yeah.
Triple action.
do we do like saving throws against infection?
Yeah. Dude, both my kids' ears got all jacked up
Nasty.
from their... Yeah.
Oh.
no.
Blame my sister. My sister pierced their ears.
Oh, did she do it at home?
Yeah.
I'd
With a
never
potato-
trust my auntie
with a-
again
with a
after
potato
that.
behind it.
What's
Oh my
that?
god. The
Did you use
potato?
They...
You never heard that? You use a potato
No.
to push against.
Or an apple.
Or an apple. Yeah, sure.
No, it's just these little guns, dude. It's like a
Oh.
one-time use thing. You buy them on Amazon. It was super easy.
Oh.
I guess that's one hell of a way to put in a gauge 9mm hole in your ear.
That'd be bigger than the child's earlobe.
You can't hear anything now
Let's-
either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hear wind whistling.
At-home gauges.
No.
Ooh.
Hey, people do
9mm
tattoos
or
that way.
45.
All right, so you guys pick your rooms. Slide into whatever bed you please, and you drift off to sleep.
None of you guys are in bed. Oh, Vanya's in bed.
I'm not.
I'm in bed, sleep.
I'm gonna sit at the tables. Sit at one of the tables and try not to get freaked out.
I wonder if we need a restorative type of spell. Greater restoration or restoration to get rid of this thing. Or if a rest will do it.
We'll find out.
Get rid of what?
The minus D4.
Wraith. The Wraith.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see how y'all feel tomorrow.
So, no, you don't. You all wake up in the morning, rested, with your D4 condition gone, hit points returned, Is returned. You call. You still have your kind of permanent hit point degradation thing going on.
Oh, that's just cruel.
But that's nothing new. That's been for a bit. But you haven't lost any new more hit points.
Do
Well,
I
that's
get
cruel.
the benefits of a long rest otherwise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so wherever your hit points are at currently, you still refill them, but they don't refill to your current, what should be your max.
Okay.
Ever since you had those couple of nights of like bad sleep, bad dreams, nightmares, things like that.
Oh, from that.
Mhm.
I mean the metagame thing I'm trying to ask is, do I get my rages back?
Yes.
Yay.
Were those dreams? Were they focused in a clearing or in a cave or?
There were quite a few in a clearing, and there
Okay.
was also mention
Oh
of
boy.
there was also mention of the elves that were mentioned in the notes, the Silverstrand elves.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Stand or Silver Strand?
Silver Stand.
Silver
STAND.
Stand, excuse me.
I think we definitely got to go figure out how to get you whole.
Yeah, I can try Greater Restoration, I think. I'll look at the materials.
Wonder if you might want to save that.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. 100 GP of diamond dust. So.
Ouch.
Diamond dust. It's that good
And I
shit.
have diamonds, but not dust. Yeah.
There's a transmutation wizard when you need him.
I'm
Okay.
imagining
Yeah,
like in the morning, like there's a little teapot with legs, like pouring tea for people, and like instead of shooting.
that
Yeah,
that would be
absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. So, as you guys walk out, sure you do find Hiss out there pouring tea into cups. She lets you know that I've looked around. There's no food in here whatsoever. Rations again, I guess.
Fantastic. Anyone want theirs to taste slightly better?
Heck yeah, make it taste like bacon.
Done. I mean, I could make it taste like anything. You could ask for, I don't know, steak. Could make it taste like a cheesecake if you wanted, I guess.
Go with bacon. Cheesecake can be later.
Bacon it is. Oh, dude, how easy would it be to be a vegetarian if you had access to prestidigitation?
It would be amazing.
You could make anything taste like anything.
Why would you want to be?
Some people want to be.
But here's the thing, though. You just said you could make it taste like anything. If you're not eating vegetables because you like the way vegetables taste and you want it to taste like meat, eat meat.
Ethical considerations, perhaps. Not me. I'm no stolen valor here. I do eat meat. But also, if you have dietary restrictions.
Yeah, I'm a
Like-
vegetarian, actually. But...
Whoa!
So
Yeah, I
there's
thought that.
you get from
Careful.
Yeah, Vanya's not, but I am.
tick.
Oh god.
So these
Cut,
tick cause
background noise.
you There's a disease from ticks that causes you to get meat, allergic
Red meat.
reaction to meat. Red meat, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have prestidigitation, that's no longer a problem.
It's true.
Honestly, I would want prestidigitation the most out of every spell. It's great.
Magic hand.
Next, and I can just clean stuff in a second. How great does that?
And you're lazy. You want a cup of
I'd
coffee?
never have to wash my hair ever again. That's my life goal.
So while you guys are at dinner, Hiss kind of goes off on her own. Starts exploring a little bit more. Not dinner, breakfast.
Cold pizza.
It's, yeah. Best pizza.
I was cracking open a beer in the morning.
It's Arnold Palmer Light, half iced tea, half lemonade.
Right.
Tomas comes out. Natali come out. They kind of partake. All right, what's the plan?
We're being
Bury
temporary
people, right?
undertakers for a morning. Seems.
Yeah,
Well,
but
we
then
did
back
just
to
sleep in
being
their beds.
swamp floors.
Sorry, Sasha, I think I spoke over you.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, I can turn you up. Why didn't I do that before? So that's the plan, right? Burial, then we get out of this absolutely cursed place.
Sounds good to me.
Is he looking at me? Is he like giving me eye contact, or is he avoiding looking at my face at all?
Insight
So
check.
Okay.
I do have a question, and it's more goes to Hiss's how she might play, or how he may play her, and knowing that detect magic has a range.
Mhm.
And we were on the top floor. She detected something 20 feet below her. Would she have gone around the rest, this floor, for instance, doing detect magic?
Yeah, I think you would have spent your time trying to visual items or things of magical nature, and she didn't find anything.
Nothing she's willing to share.
Sure.
She's a greedy little thing.
I'm gonna tell Chip you said that.
It's being recorded. So
That
Oh,
beady,
I
that
don't
beady,
need you.
that one beady little eye.
How dare you?
Because the
She's
other one was
adorable.
not the same.
No,
the
it's
other
not.
one's a wandering eye.
Does it move while she's
And are they the same
hanging
size?
out?
Like one bigger, like bulging.
When
No,
I drew
they're
her,
different.
I drew
They
one
look
to be like
different.
a regular round iris and one to be like a slit iris. I imagine that the fake eye is like a human pupil. And I
Yeah,
thought it'd be interesting.
it always reacts a little bit slower. So if you're looking at her, you'll notice that like one eye will move, the other one will move just slightly slower to catch up.
Ugh.
But when she looks away, she's still looking at you with one.
For a split
Just-
second.
For a sec. Yeah.
As far as your insight is concerned, yes, he is avoiding you.
All right.
Hiss is a great character, by the way.
Yes.
I was just saying that to cover his ass, but he is correct.
His returns. And, alright, you gather up all the bones, skulls, the Orin himself, excuse me. Orin's father. And what do you do with them in particular?
I think probably easier just do a mass grave.
Just burying them outside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We could funeral pyre them.
It's up to you.
I think that's acceptable too.
That would probably take a lot of effort.
Yeah, we
Or
don't
a
wanna draw too
fireball.
much attention either.
Oh yeah, shit, we could just fireball it. No, actually, I don't think funeral pyres work like that. I think it has to be sustained heat for quite a period of time to burn
Yeah, Fireball
bones.
just will fling
Let's
all the
just roast
bones
the bodies.
around.
Yeah, that's not a very dignified burial, is it? Scattered.
A bone bomb.
Explode,
It's like shooting them off out of a cannon.
Oh god. Yeah, that's not respectful.
All right, so you bury him.
Hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna spend the next couple hours outside. As you re-emerge from the door, basically you're on your bottom floor. You open up the door from the inside, and again, the store gems are sitting in the middle of this teleportation style circle. You open the door, and you hear and see and smell the whole marshes beyond. And as you step through, it's just like walking out a door, out onto the grassy knoll that the door is perched upon next to the light post. And there is enough space to where you can start digging, and that's what you guys do. You spend the next couple hours just digging, taking breaks, working together, dig a hole deep enough and large enough to put both Orin and his father next to each other first, and pile the bones on top of them. You cover them up with dirt, replace the sod as best you can. And they're buried.
Did we get something from Orn before we buried him, like we said we would?
What did you want to get?
I don't know. That wasn't my idea. Did anyone do that? Because I'm gonna be honest, Lucilla doesn't care.
Well, I was thinking I don't know, he has had something that was that was him. Did he always wear a hat that was unique to him, or
A pin.
a pin,
He
or
always had
did he
those
carry
mushrooms.
maybe
Yeah.
it was like a belt knife, like a hunting blade or something,
Sure.
something.
Yeah, he would have had a belt. Would have had a belt knife. He carried a short sword generally, though
I
he
think
didn't
those two
really
things
use
you
it.
could pass down to a family member,
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's that family portrait of him with his parent when he was a baby. But I don't know if that's removable. That might actually be part of the tower.
Yeah.
You could always try. Yeah, so that portrait in particular is removable. It was brought by Orin's father, so you could take it out of the tower.
Someone add to. I'll put it in the party treasury.
I think leaving a note also inside the building to the effect of, hey, this is a safe haven in a unsafe area. Leave it better than you found it type of thing.
And also warn them about closing the door behind them on
Yeah,
if
there
they're
you go.
staying there so that things can't get in.
For sure. Good idea.
That's the only. You might want to mark the way through the maze with something more finite than ball
Breadcrumbs.
bearings. Like rope or something. I don't know. Chalk.
Tell me what you want to do.
Spray paint.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go along and pick up individual ball bearings. I will just leave them there.
All right.
I'll give them the phrase as well on the note that you have to use to get through the statue. I did write it down somewhere.
Okay. So you do that, and now you stand outside the tower. Your boat floating in the water.
Do we try to find this cavern or this clearing?
I think so.
Yeah. Good a lead up as you have.
All right. So you guys hop in the boat and push off, following the directions, the notes, the coordinates as best you can. And having traveled the Hool Marshes and kind of learning over the last couple days the tricks of the trade, so to speak, you guys are able to kind of move through a little bit more stealthily, a little bit more intentionally, and as such, kind of avoid some of the nastier complications, so at least so far. And as you move deeper into the marshes, these trees get bigger, taller, and thicker and closer together. After about let's say you travel most of the day and you're into like late afternoon time frame, you see this large ring of trees. As you kind of punch through between two large trees, you float into kind of a clearing. Okay, what you've been paddling through before this, you could kind of describe as like kind of like a mangrove style forest, except that the trees are very large. But as you punch through two trees, there's a large space with no trees whatsoever. And it's large, and it's a circular clearing. The water is shallow. Your boat is still able to float on top of it, but you can like look down and see murky earth kind of peeking out from below the water's edge. And in the middle of this clearing, you see a skeleton. A massive, long skeleton.
like
Long.
a humanoid skeleton or like a massive long
Snake?
dragon skeleton, snake skeleton?
Roll a nature check.
Oh, okay, got that. So good at those.
It appears to be some kind of snake.
Hmm.
So you're kind of at the edge of the clearing, and this is kind of in the center of the clearing. But yes, it's long, maybe about 40 feet long. It has like a curved spine, like a snake, ending in. I mean, it's like almost like a long tail, with ribs kind of bowing out, supporting the weight of the spine. Portions of it are curled and snake around towards the end. The tail seems to kind of curl in on itself, and you see a massive skull curled in as well, laying on its with the side of the skull laying on its side.
In one of my dreams, my ancestor. Well, it was like me in the dream, but it was my ancestor slayed a giant snake. Can't help wonder if this is the same or related.
That thing's massive. So your ancestor killed this thing?
Yes, but there was someone else in the dream. There was a woman in tattered rags that fled into the darkness.
Granny Nightshade.
Or something, yes.
Yes.
Remember, we
I mean, I
spoke
hope-
with Dead, yeah, with your ancestor, and he talked about her.
I hope it's the one your ancestor killed, otherwise I dread to think that there are more of these things running around.
I can just see like these giant snake skins hanging in the trees.
Ugh.
No thanks.
In the dream, I had a companion. He said something about if slaying this beast doesn't impress the Silver Stand King, then what will? I think my ancestor was trying to win the hand of the king's daughter, or something like this. So probably not a prince, but trying to prove himself. He managed to slay this giant creature.
Sounds like a lot of effort just for someone's hand in marriage, but
So while we're going, right, we're moving along and rowing, and we see the snake. If Hyssop can get back to the back of the boat, Brad, can you go to Discord
Sure.
real quick?
Ooh.
Where's the? All right, sorry. So my question is, I want to see if I can't get positioned closer to Natalia in the boat.
Okay.
And
Hiss, if you are listening to this recording, this is sneaky stuff.
I'd like to kind of drum up a conversation with her and ask like her ancestry, whatnot, because she's an elf, right?
She's a half elf.
She's a half elf.
Like a drow half elf.
Oh, drow half elf. So not like half silver strand, half elf.
Well, you don't know.
Oh, I assume the silver strand were surface dweller, but maybe not. So the notion that Hisik is having is that like um what could it be that Natalia is like an heir to this princess that his ancestor was trying to win the hand of, and this is just some like generational thing that's been, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
so that's where I want to try to lead the, or not lead the conversation, but that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
So,
Do you want to like have that conversation?
yeah, I'm totally fine having that conversation and letting other people overhear it, but I don't want to like divulge my thought to everybody just yet,
Sure.
in case I'm wrong.
We'll play it out how you play it out.
Okay. All right.
Play out last time, like, oh, you've been taken over by a creature. You roleplay convincing your friends to do this terrible thing. It's great.
Wow. Is that what happened?
Yeah, well, yeah, when I went to private channel with Brad last session, he was like, you've been taken over by this creature, go convince Hiss to come in the room with you. Scary,
You
but
did
kind
a
of
good
fun.
job, though.
I wanted to vomit, but it was great.
Here's the problem: is Hiss knew exactly what, and Chip knew
I
exactly what
know,
was happening
you're
from
the one person who knew.
the first time he saw the red ooze. I know he knew. I'm sure he knew.
Yeah, I didn't even make that connection. I was kind of thinking of the stuff from Amnesia, the Dark Descent, just like, oh yeah, it's the red viney things on the wall, sure.
I was thinking I was like, wait a minute, we're things that are tendrilled off. Like we fought those in the like that. Is this like an ongoing thing?
Hmm. I thought maybe it was a jam or some preserves.
Yeah,
Marmalade. We
maybe
knew it
a
was a marmalade
jelly.
because it was red.
All right, yeah.
All right.
So when we if we get out of the boat and get back in the boat or just whatever, moving around, Hisik is going to move to get closer to Natalia and just start having a conversation with her about asking her, you know, I don't know much about you. You know, we've been traveling for some time. I don't mean to pry, but where are you from? Where's your family from?
Um, are you asking about my heritage?
Yes, ancestry, your heritage. Yes.
Well, I couldn't tell you. My mother was human, and from what I can tell from my other more noticeable attributes, my father was a drow elf. My mother didn't really elaborate on my father. I never met him.
I see.
And good riddance as far as I'm concerned. I imagine that's what he thought of us.
Well, not that one's ancestors, dictate who a person is, but sometimes it's nice to know more about your family.
Yes, I'm sure it is for most.
For some,
Why do you ask?
Oh, I was just curious.
Ollie does an insight check.
Oh, Hissig, you were doing a deception check. Sorry.
Well, I figured.
Sure. Hold your horses there,
I
Buckaroo.
mean, she asked.
She did. Hold on.
If she's suspicious, she might not even be suspicious though.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
What is that from?
It's from Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, yeah.
I don't think I ever watched Parks and Rec, but I know the.
It gets used
It's
a
from
lot.
Saperstein's, John Ralphio's sister.
Yeah. Okay, the two worst people in the show.
She's the worst.
Exactly.
Now I gotta look it up to see why I
Two of my
You
favorite
should
TV
watch Parks
characters
and
of all
Rec.
time.
You'd like Ron Swanson.
You would like Ron Swanson.
Oh
You
yeah.
would.
You would. Oh my god.
He likes meat and not being tracked by the government. And he
So
hates people in general.
yeah, she seems like she's being forthright. There's genuine.
Oh, I believed her. I wasn't trying to be.
Oh, that's right. The deception was you.
It was yeah.
Yeah, you get the impression that she buys what you're selling. She doesn't seem suspicious of you or overly concerned.
Oh, I was. Yeah. I just was figured that she might be suspicious of me. So.
Yeah, she's not.
Okay.
She should be.
The rest of us, however.
Right. Everybody else.
Yeah,
Why are
actually.
you talking? I can see Ukala. Like,
Why are you talking to
why
my
are you sliding up
girlfriend?
on my
Oh my
girl?
God, So, Yuke, as you're kind of half listening to the conversation, you see your two remaining ancestral guardians up here, just kind of nearby you. They were not there 1 second, and the next split they are. Next split second.
Splickety second.
Just splicant is a half a second. They appear, and not really paying attention to you, paying you no mind. They walk through the muck, just maybe about up to their knees, although they walk unimpeded by the water and the muck, the moss, up to the beast that once was, and just kind of stand next to it. One reaches out and places his hand upon it, turns and looks back at you.
Ukala will look over the side of the boat. Is the ground, is the water too deep to walk, or is it? Can I kind of do what they did and?
I don't know. You'll have to
How
figure
fucked
it
up
out.
would it be if the spirit guardians are floating at waist deep, but it's really like 15 feet deep,
It's just a prank.
right?
Sight, great grandson. Got you.
Come on in,
No,
the water's
he'll
fine.
try. He'll try stepping out. He'll try stepping out.
You slowly get out of your canoe, and your feet meet some kind of surface around mid shin. They sink in to about mid knee, but you find solid enough ground. From there on out, you don't go any further.
Okay. Try to follow. Go to meet them at the skeleton.
Natali, you hear a splashing sound behind you, and as you are maybe 10 or 15 feet into your walk, you see Natali extricating herself from the boat and the conversation with Hisik, and starts walking after you towards the skeleton.
Do any of the rest of us see
Yeah,
the,
can we see the Guardians?
or do we just see him walking off?
No, you see them.
Oh, okay.
In the same way that you generally see them when in combat. There have been
That's
other
okay.
instances when they've kind of showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, just wondering.
But
Just
it's
wondering
pretty.
if he looks crazy or not.
No, he doesn't look crazy. So you walk up to the skeleton. As you get closer, this thing's head is massive. Um, it's probably the size of a human male or female. And it's just kind of mouth is lying agape. Again, no connective tissue. All of that has been picked clean long ago. It's just white bone, its fangs bared and exposed. You kind of squat down and look through its mouth, and you can almost look through this like tunnel of rib cage bones and spine as it flows, half submerged in this muck. And you reach out your own hand and place it upon the solid skull, and you start running like your hand along the smooth, slightly porous surface of this skeleton. And as you do so, it's almost like you start seeing double. Um, you move your hand, and there's almost this shadowy ghost like after image that moves along with your hand. Almost, it's kind of like Hiss's eye. It's always moving a half second to a second later. And as you're moving your left arm along the skull, this this after image that kind of gets left behind, you see that there's it looks different than your own arm, your own hand. And as you continue walking around the skull, it's almost like this after image separates from you. And you see now the entire person of this individual that you see in your dreams, or that you sometimes are a part of or act as in your dreams. And it starts walking around the snake. But it only gets so far, and then it disappears. And you're kind of locked in on that, not paying attention. Natali comes up behind you, touches your shoulder, kind of startles you out of your reverie. What do you think it is? This beast.
I think it's some sort of giant serpent that served this woman, this witch, whoever she was, or that she somehow managed to control. It's even larger than I remember.
What do you mean, remember?
There was in the dream, I saw this snake in a dream. My ancestor slayed it, while some person or someone that looked like a person taunted him as she retreated into the shadow of the trees on the edge of the clearing.
Which edge?
He'll look around and see if he recognizes. I mean,
And you do. The creature is in the exact position as it was left in your dream. And you're able to determine like which edge, which tree line
he'll
the
point.
woman.
Yeah.
She reaches out and touches the creature. And looks over at you and she says, I'm proud of you, you. And she kind of looks at her, almost gets this puzzled look on her face. I'm not sure what for exactly, but I just feel I don't know. Listen, I haven't been completely honest with you. I've been having dreams as well.
What do you see in your dreams?
I'm not sure we have time to go over it right now, but I'm sorry I should have told you about them sooner. Also, my power. And she holds up a hand and this kind of black, purple, blue energy just starts swirling around her hand. Disappears. It does come from something. Or someone. I've been meaning to tell you, I just didn't know how. Anyways, sometimes I hear a voice. It's very rare. And when I do, it's always. She seems to help me. When I was going to be slain in the arena by that beast, the Sahagan, my power didn't just awaken. I don't think there's anything in me that. And that split second time slowed, and I heard a voice, and she offered me a way out. She said she had the ability to give me my freedom from death and from the Sahagin, and I took it. I just had to pay her back when the time came. I didn't have time to ask what that meant or to get into the details. A large hammer was swinging towards my head in slow motion. So I agreed. I took the deal. And I had power that I'd never imagined at my fingertips, and it has grown since, though I've been hiding it. I hear her every now and again, and she seems worried about you. She says you're in danger. And she puts her hand on your shoulder, and again, and looks at you. Just know that I'll do my best to keep you alive, keep you safe.
Holly, what does this voice sound like? What is it? Is it a kind voice? Is it a deceptive voice? Is it an ancient voice?
She hasn't lied to me. In truth, she said very little. She seems kindly. As best as I can tell, she won't tell me her name.
No,
She teaches me when I'm alone. She unlocks new skill and power from time to time. I've never seen her. Her voice is vibrant, young, but wise. She seems to know much, but reveals very little. I ask her what my repayment will be, and she just assures me I'll know it when it comes. I am concerned, but hopeful.
my only concern is this. Sometimes in these dreams, there's a fog of sorts that compels me to do things, to carve, to make things. But when I'm doing these things, I'm not completely in control of myself. And so I fear that someone who could compel or control a beast of this size may be able to do the same with me. I tell you this because I do not want to hurt my friends. So I ask you if I am beyond my own control, that you do whatever it takes to prevent me from hurting you or anyone else.
I don't think it'll come to that. I've never met someone so stubborn and headstrong as you, so. Anyways, we should probably get going. Or that she squeezes your shoulder and walks back to the boat. Your ancestral guardians kind of watch her go, look at you, make eye contact, which is unique. They normally almost act like you're not there, as a general rule. And then they disappear.
I'll make his way back to the boats.
Okay.
Boat.
Okay. You hop back into the boat, the both of you, and you continue on through the ring of trees back into the forest. About maybe another hour's worth of journey. You feel the boat itself is moving of its own accord. Now, there's always a general flow to water. It's always almost so slight that you can't feel it in the marshes. But here, it seems as if it is moving quicker and quicker. And you hear like a rush. Not a rush. It's almost like you hear a waterfall off in the distance. As you row closer into the sound, you notice off in the distance that some of the trees are sitting at odd angles. And moving closer still, the noise gets louder and the water rushes faster. And you're able to catch yourself. You see another large kind of almost clearing out ahead of you, and you guys are able to catch the boat against some trees to steady it. And what you see before you is a huge hole in the ground. And the whole marsh is flowing, the water flowing in over the sides of the hole and down into some type of chasm or cave.
Hmm.
So I have a question
Yes.
for Ukala, really for Brett, and for Brad.
That's me.
And part of it is it's definitely it's not in game. It's about the game, but it's not in game. It's not in character. Because we've heard so much of the storytelling from Brad to Brett about all this, and I cannot remember. Like, I'm not sure how much of these visions Ukala has shared.
Mhm.
I guess I guess I would like just like clarification. Like, how much have you shared with us? Like,
Yeah, I think especially now that we've seen this giant snake skeleton, I would have shared all the details I remember from the dreams related to that.
do you
I think I
go ahead?
shared the scene I had those scenes where people were dying. I want to say I shared that in the
You
past. I
did.
don't remember honestly.
Yep, you did.
So the silver stand elves. Do you remember? This is Hisik now asking you. Do you remember? What do you remember about those elves? What
I
in your visions? What have you seen? Are they surface elves? Are they drow? Are they?
I don't know. I get the impression that they were separate from um, my people. So my people had like an alliance or some sort of an agreement with these elves. Um, so I don't know that I would know that one way or another.
You
Go
you
ahead.
also know that like the new town council
Oh right,
person
someone
is
wasn't there
from
someone?
them.
Yeah,
It's from
yeah,
the
yeah.
Silver Sand Elves. But other than that, you at least in game, you guys haven't had any interaction with them at all. Point. I've mentioned that their forest home is kind of near to Salt Marsh, but you guys have never traveled
The silver stand
there.
elves?
Yeah. They've also been mentioned before working with the Rangers of Salt Marsh. Kind of, they patrol and help patrol the Dreadwood. They kind of work in concert together. Kind of make sure or address threats that come out of the Dreadwood from time to time.
Hey Brett, will you go to secret channels with me?
Hmm.
Ooh. By the way, when I was BRB, what I miss?
What's that? Let me
I left.
see.
I had to leave for a second. What I miss?
$9.50.
Last thing I heard was the giant hole in the ground.
I think that's about it.
That's about it.
Okay. Are we still in the boat by the hole?
Yes, but so we were basically talking about the Silver Sand Elves and like what we know about them.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Still in imminent danger.
Yeah, what are we gonna do about that?
I mean, last time there was a hole, we just went into it. So it's either a really good idea or a really bad idea to do it again.
Let me see if I can get a kind of a picture
Flip a coin.
for you of what
That's
this
how we
looks
decide.
like. Mm-hmm.
It must kill you to have players go into secret chat. Because it's like, you as the DM get to know basically everything.
Let me see. Yeah, I do like when you guys keep secrets from me.
Oh, you actually like it? Oh.
Oh, of course, absolutely. You
Curiosity
guys
would
should conspire against me all the time.
Noted.
curiosity would kill me. Okay, I'll make up reasons to do it and say not much of anything, but let you think it's a secret.
Oh, here we go. This is kind of what I'm thinking about. So this is a little bit what this looks like.
Oh boy.
Like something like that. Except where all those trees are,
There's
it's
a
just
thing.
like a mangrove forest, and water's just like pouring in on all sides, kind of thing.
Absolutely no, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't thinking it was that big. Get me out of that.
Yeah, can we like secure the boat to a tree or something so we don't?
Is this our feather token boat, or did we
What?
not have?
No, this is like
No,
this is Orin's boat.
Is that a
The
different
feather
game?
token was from the dungeon crawler mini
Oh,
thing.
okay.
See, this is why it's so useless. It would be great in any other campaign.
I feel I forget what it's called. It's called like a foldable boat. A folding boat, I think is what it is.
Which is another magic item. Yeah.
It is a magic item.
But there's
That is.
Yeah, I
I
was
know
gonna
that there's
say.
a feather token boat too.
Yeah,
So-
we don't have that.
So think this is kind of like what this hole looks like. It's like kind of a massive hole in the ground, and water's like basically on all sides of it. Water's pouring in from this the middle of this mangrove forest, and then you kind of look. If you were to look down in it, you would see something similar to like the second picture, potentially. But you guys haven't looked down in it. But yes, you guys can secure the boat if need be.
A combination of all three of those.
Yeah, dude. Those those holes scared the heck out of me, man.
Right?
Yeah, because it's not like going into a cave system where maybe you might be able to get out. It's like there's just more water down there.
And that's real. People are like, "Oh, that's a fake thing." No, that's a freaking real thing.
No, I've seen one of those before.
Why in the hell would you make that?
It's for draining. They
I know,
usually,
but like,
And for nightmares.
for nightmares.
ever seen like the ones where the ducks get sucked into those? It's so sad.
No.
It's the worst. Yeah.
Ducks. They just want to be fed cucumbers.
It's
And
and
peas.
bread.
What?
Bread.
Bread's
They
terrible.
eat cucumbers. They eat cucumbers and peas.
They eat everything. But
Yeah. Just float it in water and they'll eat it. Right,
Yeah.
I have
you're
I
like,
have rope.
there it is.
No.
It's okay. They're actually pretty terrible creatures. They like force themselves onto the women ducks. They're like the rapists.
That's the
of
second time this week
Yeah.
I've had that conversation and I don't understand why.
Because it's a
Why
very interesting fact.
Duck
it's awful.
It's like a
Ducks.
procreation is not romantic.
No, it's not. Be more like
No.
bonobos. Bonobos are great.
bonobos.
No, I got
Yeah.
what? A bonobo.
Yeah.
Bonobo
Bonobo
Jim.
Bloody monkeys,
romance.
Yeah, they solve issues by having intercourse and will attack any of the other bonobos that do it non-consensually.
Wow.
They got it right.
Solving problems through intercourse is a terrible way for a relationship to work.
That's true.
But at least it's nicer than ducks.
It
It's
is,
nicer
yeah.
than
Well,
It's
sure,
its own
but
type of dysfunction. I suppose.
Hey, I think they're a lot nicer than us. They don't hit each other.
makeup sex is different, and that.
I don't
But
know.
still.
But anyway, that was your fun chimp
Moving
fact
on.
for today.
You tie the boat down using a sailor's knot
Yeah.
to this tree.
Yeah, I know how to do those.
Holy boat.
Any sailor's knot will do.
Can we look around to see if there's anything that looks like it might be a way down or a?
Guys, I gotta be going. It's noon.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
See
Oh,
ya.
wait. See ya, dude. So yeah, so as you look
Bye,
around,
Bye, Kurt.
you can see that some of the ground, the trees, some of the trees around along the edges are like growing out over the hole, if that makes sense, like at an angle. Um, some of them appear to have fallen in completely, while others seem to have like fallen in halfway, but have maintained some kind of root structure, and so they've kind of held on and are just now continuing to grow at an angle over the mouth of the river or the mouth of the cave. You get the impression that this wasn't like this all the time. This may have been like a smaller cave that just kind of collapsed in on itself over time as erosion and a sinkhole formed. Um, but the water is kind of flowing in like how you see it. So as far as like a path that leads down, that's going to be a negative.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, does Hiss have her familiar to, like, send it to look down? I don't know if she has it or not.
Yeah, yeah. His takes off her little hat, and there's Screech, long forgotten about. Just hasn't made an appearance in a while,
Sure.
and she Screech. I don't know if Screech is a boy or girl, but shakes off its wings either way. A little bit of dust floats off into the air, and she screeches its way into kind of the evening sky. And as you can see, as the sun is setting, getting lower in the sky, there is kind of a break in the tree material above you, obviously, and you can see the sky clearly for the first time in a while. So Hiss's eyes kind of glaze over a whitish color as she sees through Screech's eyes. And Screech flies out and over, and Hiss kind of narrates that the hole itself is maybe about 100 feet deep. Water is pouring in from all sides. Um, and there is like solid ground down below. Like the middle area in this circular hole is actually probably the only rock that has been seen in a while outside of the tower itself. There's rocky ground, and then the water kind of pours around this rocky outcropping, which is rather large in size, and flows off underneath the ground and kind of dissipates into the watershed down below. But you can't really see how or where that's happening. It's pretty dark. Um, Hiss sends Screech a little bit deeper into the cave. She disappears for a while. Hiss goes, "There are statues all over the place. Most of them fallen over, broken, but many are intact. They It's at the edge of my vision. I can't really see. I don't know, 40, 50, maybe even more." And with that, Screech flies back out, flutters back under Hiss's hat, and she replaces it.
Well, unless
That's
anyone has
ominous.
unless anyone has any suggestions for how to slowly and safely descend to that rock outcropping, I suppose we could try to paddle the boat against the flow of the water and then navigate so that we come near one of these trees that's growing over the edge, although I don't know that its roots or branches will offer too much help.
Probably our
Do we
best.
definitely? Sorry, you go.
I was just saying, maybe we could tie a rope to one of the trees if we could get over there.
Do we definitely want to go in here? Because from my impression, there's nothing in the notes that talked about a sinkhole. Like nothing in the diary, Matrice's diary pages that talked about going through something like this to get to that cave. Unless I'm being a dummy. Please tell me if I'm being a dummy.
No, you're right. It mentioned a
Yeah.
cave.
Yeah, definitely talked about cave. Yeah, they didn't say that it was. Yeah, a sinkhole
Through a
cave.
sinkhole. I mean, it might lead to another. This might be like a secondary route to get to that cave, or it could just be really dangerous. I don't know.
I don't think Ook had any dreams in this area.
No. Looking around, do we see anything else above the sinkhole that looks like stones or remnants of something?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Nope.
Yeah. No, you don't. You don't see any statues or cave systems above ground.
Are the trees close enough together that you could walk across it like we've heard of the ancient civilization doing, supposedly?
Yeah, I think you could. It's pretty thick from here on out. And I think you could move from tree to tree generally without issue. I mean, it would be certainly difficult terrain. It would take you time to move carefully, but you could.
Okay. It's an option.
Not a bad option. If we get to a tree, we could get a better vantage point and maybe move closer to the edge if we desire.
How far up are the lowest branches? So I know you said mangrove. I don't.
Yeah, so mangrove trees are. So think mangrove, but like very large and widespread, thick branches, thick trunks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, think like. Do you know what a sequoia is?
Nope, but I can look it up.
Mm,
I do now. Oh god, they're huge.
Yeah, so not that tall, but maybe that wide. But they're pretty tall. So your lowest branches are probably maybe 40, 50 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
And they spread out like really wide.
Mm-hmm. See, I recall when I made this character picking something that had like hammer and is it pitons in it? I don't think I've got those. That's slightly annoying. This is the one time those would have come in handy. But you know when you make a character and you pick a pack and you're just like, I don't need this shit.
What pack do you have?
The one for people of upstanding society folk.
Oh,
Totally not the thieves one.
the diplomat pack?
No.
Oh, you picked a thieves pack.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
but I
who
don't
has
have it in my inventory, so I assume at some point in the past, like 2 or something years we've been playing this campaign,
it.
I got rid of them because I wasn't using them and they were taking up inventory space. Yep, that's definitely what I did.
The burglar's pack.
Yep,
It
that's what I
does
did.
10 pitons.
I need a hammer. Damn it, Charlotte.
Well, someone might have some. But more or less, the trees kind of ring the outside of this hole, similar to how in that first picture I posted. Your trees are right at the edge,
Mhm.
and some of them are on the edge, like leaning over the edge. Um,
So if we were being ballsy enough, we could potentially use one of the leaning trees to try and get up.
sure. Or you could spend some time trying to find a different way in the surrounding area. You know, who knows? Water has to flow out somewhere, or maybe it's flowing in somewhere else, or maybe there's a secret tunnel. I mean, who knows? But
I can use my woodcarver tools to carve a staircase. Just give me 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months, and it'll be great.
We'll become swamp people by then. Okay, so we have like basically 2 options. Ignore the hole or go in the hole.
and like you don't have to go in there either.
I know.
You
So we
could
go around
leave
it or go in it.
and go find the
Yeah.
silver stand nose. You guys can go back to Salt Marsh. You guys could go. Um,
Is this where the coordinates have led us to?
yes. Mhm.
Directly? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is the cave.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys could go back to Iron Gate.
Nah.
Go find
We've done
Garth.
terrible things there.
Remember, there's
Yeah,
go back and
Okay.
someone.
Who does that? Who gets into the middle of this kind of situation? It's like, let's go to a different quest line. Let's just go somewhere.
I do it on The Witcher all the time.
really.
How? I'd forget what was happening.
I get side quested all the time.
Do you have ADHD?
Do you guys follow girlfriend reviews on YouTube?
No, but I know about him.
It's what you would call a hole up a minute. Hold up a minute.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm derailing us here.
No, it's fine.
Well, why don't we try going either towards one of these trees that's leaning, or something? Yeah, you all don't have to go down the hole, but I think I do.
Bit late to be questioning it at this point.
Yeah, we're all going down the hole.
We're all going down the hole.
What was that, Twinkle Toes? You don't sound especially.
No, I'm just
bright.
dying. You realize how ridiculous this looks. Just look at it. Fine, into the mouth of hell we go.
You can stay on the edge if you like, Twinkle Toes. I'm not.
It's too late.
Tomas goes, "That sounds all right to me."
Get it up then. You can
Uh,
swim to the nearest tree.
Uh,
See there, the choice is yours. You can either descend into a dangerous, watery cavern, or spend several hours with Tomas.
I
The
choose the
choice.
hole.
Excellent. Yeah, you could look around and see if maybe if they paddle back towards the way they came, if they can maybe navigate to like another tree that's leaning against another tree, or somewhere
I'm
they could.
wondering if we use multiple ropes to try and inch our way across to other trees. Because we're already tied to one, aren't we?
yes, you have arrested
Is
your movement against a tree.
is there enough potential slack in that rope to get us towards another tree? Or are they
Sure.
too far away?
No, you could.
Because what I'm thinking is if we're tied to one tree, we're kind of like doing what people do when they're climbing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have like a securing rope and then they'll go to the next thing and put in another securing rope
Like
until we can get
anchors.
to. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That sounds like a good
Yeah,
plan.
sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and there is a tree nearby that's kind of leaning out over the edge. It's maybe about 50 or 60 feet away from where you're at.
Doing that, I don't know how we'll get the ropes back. I don't know how climbers do it, to be honest. My knowledge is very limited.
Well, you can climb back. They have their ways. So,
Crazy people.
all right. So you use some ropes. Who has rope and how many?
I have 50 foot. Mine's silk. Ooh, how
Oh,
fancy. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So you basically use your rope and you're able to move through. Do you want to go through the boughs of the tree? You want to move like along the trunk, through the water? Um, how do you want to do it?
good question. Um, I'm not sure which is best. I guess when you say through the boughs,
Like climb up the tree and walk through the branches, like you had mentioned before.
oh, okay. No, I think stay in the waters because I don't think there's any easy way of us actually getting up there, especially for those of us with weak noodle arms.
Okay.
I
So,
think stay in the water.
all right. So you're standing at a large tree. You have about, and the way the water's flowing, you would need to get to, I think, the other side of the next trunk to then float your way a little bit closer to the rim to get yourself onto the tree that's leaning over. Does that make sense? So you're on
Maybe.
one tree,
Okay.
and if you just jumped into the water at the tree you're at, you'll flow over the edge. But if you move one tree over to the other side of the trunk and you jumped into the water, it would, in theory, float you onto uh, the trunk of a tree that is leaning over the edge.
Okay. How far is it away?
There's about a 20-foot gap between the tree you're on and the next tree of flowing water.
Okay.
You don't know how deep it is. It's flowing at a decent pace. It's not crazy. This is still swampish water. It's not like a river. The only reason this stuff is flowing this way is because there's a giant hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll just. Do we have multiple ropes?
Yeah, Vanya has another 50 foot.
So I think we've got enough to get over to a different tree without just letting ourselves go over the edge should we happen to misdirect.
Okay.
And Lucilla's good at rope tying, so fine. We're fine.
All right. How you doing it? Explain to me how you get over there.
Well, I guess I don't want to use a rope as an anchor and try and go with the flow of the water to get to the other tree and tie ourselves onto that tree.
Okay.
Please tell me if this is a death wish, because I might be imagining this differently. This might be a Keyleth jumping over the edge of a 1,000-foot cliff type situation, where she thinks it's a small thing and it's actually massive. If none of you have seen the episode, trust me, it goes very wrong.
I have. I have seen said episode.
I don't want to be pulling a keyfish and getting us killed.
Well, this perhaps will do. Let me.
Does Hiss have access to Featherfall?
I was wondering the same, which is why yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Worst comes to
remember.
worst, can we do that?
Says. Yes, and it's prepared.
Thank
Depending on how
the
many of
gods
us
for
go,
you.
we could just jump off the edge.
How many?
Of course, the only issue there is how do we get back out? Yes.
That is a problem.
All right. Well, I say we do Lucilla's plan: the tree hop, the swing anchor flow, and try to find a way down. If worse comes to worse,
We live down there.
yes.
Okay. Let me see here.
Do we not have anyone who knows fly?
Huh?
Do we not have? Doesn't no one? Does Hiss not know fly? The spell?
Oh, I don't know. Or
Maybe.
levitate, perhaps.
Featherfall is
Yeah.
5 creatures, by the way.
Oh,
Only 5. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
And I think
there would be 6 of us with Natali, 7 with Tomas.
it's a level 1 spell. At higher levels, I don't think you can cast it at higher levels.
I don't think
No?
so either. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you could.
All right, so
No. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, Hissick could survive because he's Hissick. But still.
I might technically be able to do damage negation with I've got a couple of abilities that let me teleport.
Mm.
I don't know how that would work, but
And
it's
I've
a
got control
possibility.
water, but I don't think it'd help us like stop the fall.
so here's an example. And imagine you're very small compared to these red circles, and this big thing is the cavern-ish thing, the hole in the ground. But
Oh, I can't see anything.
if you're what?
I can't see anything.
Really?
Yeah, black.
Yeah, black for me too.
And Sasha, what do you mean control water won't help us? Just have it be like Minecraft where you put down a bucket of water before you fall. Negates all fall damage.
There you go. Can you see now?
Nope. Oh,
What?
I'll reload, but you just sound so indignant every single time I say no, I'm scared to tell you the
Better?
truth.
I see something.
Oh, yep, I see it.
It's nothing great. It's just a minor diagram. So imagine you're very small compared to these little red circles. Those are the trees. This big
Gotcha.
outline is the cavern.
Oh.
So you guys are here attached to this tree. So what I think you're trying to
Okay.
do is float your way over to this tree, and then
Mm-hmm.
this is a tree that's like hanging over the edge, and then you can like float your way over to that one if you wanted. That's what I assumed you were talking about.
Yeah, I'd say that's
Otherwise,
accurate.
the water is flowing like in this direction.
Okay. Could we use control water to push ourselves over there? Or just paddle real fast?
It's up to you.
Paddle against the tide and get as far away as possible before veering.
Yeah. Otherwise, we are going to go over the edge, actually. Oh boy.
We could also leave the plan for next week
Yeah, I'm wondering
or
if we
the
should
next
have
game.
Chip
Yeah,
weigh
we
in
could
on this.
for the squad.
All right,
I feel like my brain isn't working.
let's do that.
This is a good diagram, though. I appreciate this.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's hold off then.